Please subscribe before watching the movie, that will help us more. Welcome to Movies Recapped. I'm going to recap the movie called Murmur of the Heart from 1971. The movie starts with a boy whose name is Lauren Saya. He's collecting donations along with his friend on a road. They were going up to people and were asking for donations. Lauren Saya is a 14-year-old who's growing up in bourgeois surroundings in Dayon, France. The movie set in the mid-1950s, it was the time of the First Indochina. France was also involved in the war, and Lauren and his friend were collecting donations for France soldiers. We learned that Lauren loves jazz, is a good student, always receives the highest grades in his class, and opposes the First Indochina War. Despite his love of jazz, he still owns old records. He tells his friend that he likes new jazz music more than old jazz music, but he doesn't have the money to buy new records. Lauren and his buddy then go into a musical instrument shop and steal a record while his friend keeps the sales girl busy and even takes donations from the shop owner. Later, Lauren comes home and we learn that in his family there's his mom, dad, and his two older brothers. His dad is a gynecologist and his name is Charles, and he is an unloving father and neglects his children. His mother's name is Clara and she's an affectionate Italian mother. The older brothers are named Thomas and Mark. Clara is a loving mother and she loves Lauren very much and is very close to him. Lauren is obedient and listens to his mother. His brothers Thomas and Mark are notorious pranksters. They also pull pranks on their mother and also mess with her a lot. We see that Thomas and Mark go into their mother's room and try to steal money from her. Thomas gets money from the bag while Mark keeps an eye on the door. Suddenly their mother comes in and catches them. She tries to take the money from him, but he starts running around the table. Then Lauren snatches the money from Thomas and gives it back to his mom. Later at the dinner table, Lauren is not eating and his dad scolds him for it. He gets angry and leaves the table, but Clara manages to convince him to come back at night. Lauren is in his room when his brothers. They start messing with him and forcefully remove his shirt. They joke around and they start to argue about the size of their private parts and later start to show and compare the size of their private parts. The housemaid catches them in the deed and she beats them with the same ruler they were using to measure their pee-pee. The next day, Lauren wakes up late and is running late from school. He's enrolled in a Catholic school, and when father asks him about his late entry, he lies that he was helping a blind man cross the road, and that's why he was late after class. He and his friend smoke while he's leaving for home. He sees his mother in a car with another man. He understands that his mother is having an extramarital affair and he gets upset because of. He goes to his father's clinic to tell him about it, but he's busy with his practice. He angrily turns him away without even listening to him. Lauren arrives home and directs his anger to a shirt that he tears into pieces. At the dinner table, we see that Lauren's uncle and aunts have also come, and his mother is also returning in time for dinner. Lauren is very angry at her, and even though she speaks nicely to him, he acts coldly towards. Later we see that Lauren is at school and he's having PT period and doing exercises, and that's when Father Henry calls him into his room. Lauren always confesses his mistakes to him. He then confesses to the father that he stole a record, smoked, lied to his parents and has done many other bad things. The father says that if you continue to do all of this, God will be angry at you and will turn his blessings away. The father explains to him nicely when he returns home after class. He sees that his brothers were having. He also joins them and we learn that their parents have gone somewhere and will be away from the house for a day. Using the opportunity, Thomas and Mark throw a dance party at their house and invite all of their friends. Lauren is sitting alone at the party and is smoking a cigar. That's when a girl comes and sits near him. She flirts with him and he kisses her, but he's inexperienced and the girl says that he doesn't know how to. The girl proceeds to teach him, but he feels disgusted by her tongue and stops. They again try to kiss, but this time the housemate comes and she ruins the party. The next day, Lauren is in class where father distributes the check test to everybody, and Lauren has scored the highest like usual. Later when he comes home, he sees that his parents are back. The brothers chat with their parents a bit, and after that, the parents go to their room. Lauren's brother convinces him to come to a brothel with him, and they want him to lose his virginity. They all go to a brothel and book a prostitute. For Lauren, the lady's name is Frida. Next we see Lauren and Frida in a room trying to get physical. They're midway through the process when Lawrence's brother comes there drunk and messes with him, stopping him in the process. He gets angry and leave. The next morning, Lauren is packing his bag for a scouting trip. We see him in a scout camp where he's enjoying his time, but he catches scarlet fever and is left with a heart murmur. After his checkup, the doctor advises him to rest for a few days. Lauren is bedridden and cared for and entertained by Clara and their maid Augusta. One day when Clara is playing cards with him, she suddenly realizes that she has to go somewhere. She husks out of the room and after getting ready leaves the. Lauren gets up and looks out the window to see that his mother is again meeting with the same guy, and she leaves with him in a car, but he doesn't inform anyone about it. The next day we see Lauren with Father Henry. Father is teaching him in his room. Due to the illness, Lauren can't go to school, so Father Henry is teaching him at home when Clara comes there. Father Henry informs her that despite being ill, Lauren is showing good progress in his studies. Hearing this, Clara gets happy and kisses Lauren on the cheek. Father Henry says to her that Lauren is now growing up and he's no longer a child. You should now treat him as an adult. Next we see Lauren in a car with his parents. They were taking Lauren to a sanatorium. Actually, Lauren's condition was not showing any improvement, and he's being taken to the sanatorium so he can be treated. Lauren's mom plans to stay with him there, and when they reach the sanatorium, the worker shows them the apartment. The apartment only has one bedroom. Clara is a bit concerned because of this due to an error by Charles's secretary Solange. The hotel books both Clara and Lauren into a single room, and given that the hotel is completely full, no additional room is available. Because of this, she now has to adjust to one room with Lauren after some time. Lauren's dad takes his leave from there the next day. Lauren's treatment begins at the same night when Lauren and his mother were at a party. We see Lauren chatting with some girls. And on another side, his mother was having a conversation with a boy named Hubert. Lauren sees his mother chatting with the boy and is not happy. It's because Hubert was trying to impress his mother after the party finishes. When Lauren was in the room with his mother, Clara talks to him about Hubert, and seeing her talk about Hubert, Lauren gets furious. Clara jokingly says to him, "Why is he acting towards her like he's a junior husband? Why is he feeling jealous?" She jokes and tickles him, and this way she calms his. The next day when Lauren goes for the treatment, he meets a girl named Helen and he invites her to meet in a park. Helen was one of those girls who Lauren met and was chatting with at the party last night. She agrees to meet him and we see the two walking in a park together. They chat for a bit, and after that, Lauren takes her to his room. He wants her to listen to his jazz music record, and he plays the jazz music and they both sit down on the bed there. He tries to seduce Helen, but she doesn't return his advances. She says that he's too young and we shouldn't do all of this. She then leaves from there. One day, Lauren is in his apartment when his mother was taking a bath. Lauren wanders around in the apartment and he spots his mother. He hides and starts spying on his mother in the bathtub, but his mother catches him and gets. She quickly puts on a robe and slaps him. He runs into his room. After some time, his mother comes back with food and he's sitting sadly on the bed. She explains to him that what he did is wrong, and she informs him that she has to leave for a few days as she has some urgent matters to attend to. In response, Lauren says that you're free to go wherever you want to. I have no issue or concern with that because I also have to go somewhere with Helen. Then we see Lauren, Helen, and a few other friends of hers who are going somewhere in. As there's not enough space in the car, Lauren decides to not go. He ends up staying back and cancels his plans. He passes some time in the park and then returns to his apartment. When he gets back, he hears a voice of a man coming from his mother's room. Lauren realizes that this is the same man with whom his mother is having an affair. Instead of reacting to it, he just lays down on a bed there and starts to listen to music. He lays there closing his eyes like he's asleep on the. Sometime later, his mom comes out and she sees Lauren on the bed. She thinks that Lauren is fast asleep. She quickly tells her boyfriend to get ready, but Lauren was not asleep and he was listening to all of this. His mother comes into his room and she sneakily puts a letter on his side table. After that, she leaves with her boyfriend. After she leaves, Lauren gets up and sits on the bed and he reads the letter. Clara has written that she's going somewhere for 2 days to attend some urgent. Once his mother has left, he gets up and puts on her clothes and starts to pleasure himself with her undergarments. The next day, Lauren attends a party where Helen is dancing with a girl named Daphne. Looking at them, Hubert passes a remark that these girls are lesbians and trying to impress them is futile. Lauren replaces Daphne and starts dancing with Helen. He also starts to touch her in inappropriate places. Helen gets annoyed by this and she pushes him away and asks him to stop. He accuses her of being a lesbian and tells her that Hubert told him. He also tells her that he himself is in fact a girl and they both can go in the room and have fun. Even after listening to this, Helen does not agree with him. Next, we see Lauren in his apartment where he's reading a book when his mother She had written in the letter that she was leaving for 2 days, but she's back after only 1 day. Lauren is surprised to see his mother, but his mother doesn't talk to him and quietly goes into the bathroom to have a shower. After having the bath, she goes to her bed and lays down and starts to cry. Lauren goes into her room and asks her why she's crying. She tells Lauren that she's broken up with her boyfriend. Lauren comforts her by saying that she'll get an even better boyfriend than him. That's when his mother says that they shouldn't talk about things like this. In response, Lauren says that, along with being my mother, you're also my friend, and because of this we can share things with each other. She relaxes and they both talk very openly. They enjoy each other's company and spend some quality time together. On the night of Bastille Day, there's a huge party in the sanatorium. Bastille Day is the national day of France, celebrated on the 14th of July every. There were many people at the party, and Lauren and his mother were also present. They're dancing together and Clara drinks crazily and consumes too much alcohol. Because of this, Lauren takes his mom back to the apartment even before the party ends. Due to heavy drinking, Clara is very intoxicated. She asks Lauren to remove his clothes and get naked. Lauren listens to her and without wasting any time, he undresses. He then starts to remove her clothes and he's unable to stop himself and gets physical with his mom. As they're both enjoying it, Clara doesn't stop him and lets him continue later. They realize that what they did is not right, and Lauren's mother says that they won't tell anyone about it. She tells him afterward that this act will not be repeated, but they shouldn't look back on it with remorse. Lauren agrees with this, and the next night he goes to Helen's room. He knocks on her door and she comes to open it. He wants to get intimate with her, but she denies it and tells him to go away. He leaves from there and goes to Daphne's room, and there he gets intimate with Daphne and spends the night with her. The next morning, they wake up to Daphne's mom knocking on her door. Lauren wakes up and quickly takes his shoes and leaves from the other door. When he returns to his apartment, he sees that his brothers and father have already. He gets scared because he thinks that his mother has told everything that happened between them to his father, but his father and brothers seem to be in a good mood and even start to laugh when they see the shoes in his hand and make fun of him. This means Lawrence's mother hasn't told anyone and he feels relieved. The movie ends here. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.